mynews.studio.
Picture this. Under the bright stadium lights in Sao Paulo, families aren't there for a football game. They're lining up to collect fresh vegetables and fruit. It's a striking scene. How did Brazil end up leading the world in reversing hunger trends?
Today's date is November 25, 2025. The UN has just released the latest State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World report. And for the first time in several years, global hunger rates have actually gone down. Last year, 8.2% of people worldwide were hungry, compared to 8.5% the year before. That's a drop of about 15 million people. It might sound small, but it's significant. What's caused this shift?
The report points to targeted policies. Brazil's Brazil Without Hunger plan and the revamped Bolsa Familia cash transfer program are front and center. The government increased cash transfers directly to families, expanded access to free school meals, and gave support to smallholder farmers. In just a year, this helped lift 24 million Brazilians out of severe food insecurity. But can this kind of approach work in other countries too?
That's worth digging into. The data shows that strong social safety nets, if well-funded and managed, can make a real difference. But there are striking differences globally. In sub-Saharan Africa, for example, 1 in 5 people, about 20.2%, faced hunger last year. Why is progress so much slower there?
The reasons are complex. Conflict, economic instability, climate disasters, and a lack of policy capacity all play a part. And if you add in high food price inflation and less international aid, the challenge just grows. Even if a government wants to roll out social programs, how do you manage that when your currency is losing value or your crops are failing?
And food price inflation is a global issue too. The report shows that last year, 2.6 billion people couldn't afford a healthy diet. That's down from 2.76 billion in 2019, but it's still enormous. What's actually making food so expensive, and how are governments reacting to that?
Food prices climb for all sorts of reasons: war, weather events, supply chain problems. Brazil and some Asian countries have tried subsidies, price controls, or cash transfers to soften the blow for those most at risk. But these policies depend on having enough government funds, something low-income countries often don't have. So, are local solutions like food banks making up the difference?
Food banks and grassroots programs are vital, especially where national safety nets aren't strong enough. Organizations like the Global Food Banking Network have expanded their reach, but they can't fully replace public policy. Do you think these efforts can get us to the UN's zero hunger target by 2030?
Honestly, it's progress, but it's not the end goal. The SOFI report actually warns that new climate shocks and shrinking aid budgets could undo recent gains. Projections show that by 2030, nearly 60% of the world's undernourished people will be in Africa. So, while there's real movement in some regions, the challenge is far from solved.
And these changes have ripple effects, right? Hunger isn't just about food. It connects to health, education, and even stability within societies. If we can lower hunger rates through smart policy and international cooperation, what else might be possible with that same approach?
That's the bigger lesson here. Today's numbers show that a mix of policy, targeted aid, and community action really can make an impact. But the stubborn pockets of hunger are a reminder that progress needs to be steady and nobody should be left behind.
So to sum up, global hunger rates are finally dropping thanks to focused policies like those we've seen in Brazil. But regions such as sub-Saharan Africa still face big hurdles: conflict, climate, and economic stress. Food prices and weak safety nets remain big concerns, but both international and local efforts are helping.
And that's where we'll wrap up for today. Thanks for joining us. This episode was made possible by mynews.studio. Give it a try for free.